Hi, this is Steve with Decware. For more years than I can remember, I've had both the fascination and frustration with high-end audio cables and some of the stupid prices they sell for. The more expensive stuff tends to have odd or unique treatments or appendages. Some just go for brute size to attempt to justify these prices. At some point, the prices themselves become the most important reason they sound so good, because the price becomes a placebo. We have been making our own cables since the beginning of Deckware because, frankly, I'm not interested in rewarding overpriced products with a sale. That attitude comes from looking at the amount of parts and labor it takes to build an amplifier point to point without circuit boards, and then seeing something as simple as a 1-meter interconnect that costs more. No offense, but at no time should a couple meters of wire cost more than a boutique tube amplifier, even if it has special quantum treatments or alloys. Like unobtainium or blomium, it won't make it sound better. Could we please at least try to keep it real? There is a point of diminishing returns, and the Deckware silver reference cables are where we feel that point lies. These are one of our main reference cables that we use when designing and voicing our amplifiers, which brings me to the main point, and that is how much can you spend on a 1-meter interconnect? A cable can be broken down into 4 parts: the RCA connectors, the conductors, the insulators, and sheath. Probably the best RCA connector and one of the most expensive in the industry is the silver WBT 152 model. The best conductors for use in interconnect cables would be the most purest silver possible and pulled in laboratory conditions. There is a company that does just that, and only that, called AST, an acronym for Advanced Silver Technology. You can see each piece of wire is marked in the direction it was pulled. The insulators are Teflon, as seen in the bag on the far right side of the picture. There is no better insulator than Teflon. The outer sheath is a flexible cloth tube that allows the conductors to be twisted with plenty of airspace around them. These are some of the best and most expensive cable components that exist on this planet at the time of this video, and yet you can purchase these parts for less than $1,000. As far as I'm concerned, anything more than that and you're paying for looks or mystical treatments. So if our DSR-3 cables are at the point of diminishing returns, then why chase something like this? There are many reasons, but here is one great example. Say you have a Zen Triode 25th anniversary amplifier with the input jacks located in the front less than 1 inch away from the input tube, eliminating cables inside the amplifier completely. You have a DAC as your main source, and you directly connect it to your Deckware amp using a single interconnect. In this scenario, it becomes possible to hear a difference between our normal silver reference cables and these. In fact, our amplifiers have been used over the years by both cable and boutique capacitor manufacturers as a tool to let them hear everything they're doing without the typical mainstream mask. We have to smile in frustration when we see cables costing 5 to 20 times as much connecting amplifiers that don't sound as good. Nothing has the transparency of a Zen Triode, so certainly it is a great candidate for the best-sounding interconnect cable that you can find, and we feel this is it. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.